I think I'm going to do a four-part series on the drum capabilities of the SD-90. And, we'll start with maybe we'll start with audio drums. So, the SD-90 has three different types of drums that can be deployed and used in styles. Either that you can use to modify an existing style, or if you create your own style from scratch, you would be able to incorporate any of these three. So the three types, of course, are your standard Midi drums, you have your audio drums, and then you have your live audio drums. So live audio drums is indicative of what we talked about in the previous video, where it's a wave recording of a drum kit. And the SD-90 provides you with the ability to create your own, and then you can import them and use them how you want. Audio drums, on the other hand, are sampled slices of the drum kit components that are triggered by MIDI. So, for example, that would be the equivalent of a sampled sound, such that when you play, let's say, a C3 or a C4, you would get a hi-hat or you would get a snare, but what you are hearing is not synthetically generated from the internal sound engine of the module, but rather it is a reproduction based on the sampling of the actual instrument that was played. And then, of course, there are MIDI drums, and MIDI drums are those for which the MIDI note triggers the internal drum sound or drum components or parts of the drum set based on what note you press. So let's talk a little bit about that today. So I'll do probably a series on each of the three parts, and I am going to probably start with audio drums today. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. So we have this style called 16 beat, and again, I just picked one. And I picked it because I happen to know that it uses an audio drum as opposed to a live drum or a MIDI drum. So when I go into view, you'll see that the audio drum up in the upper left-hand corner is 16 valid. So let me play this for you. Okay, now to change this, you can't change it from this menu. You have to, because it's an audio drum or it's a sampled wave, we have to go into the live modeling section of the arranger. So when I go into live modeling, you'll see here that I have 16 valid highlighted, and I have the ability here to change and lower the volume. As you can see, I'm lowering the volume of the drum kit or increase the volume. I can also add reverb or add chorus. When I go into the view menu to take a look at, let's first change it. So if I wanted to change this, I would go into audio drums and I would pick something different. So let's go ahead and pick 12/8 valid, and you can hear it change, and it conforms to the tempo, obviously. Let's go ahead and pick 8 valid 1. So now that's a different audio drum. Or let's pick a Latin ballad. Okay, so you have the ability to change all of these. Now let me mute these other parts so that we can just hear the drums. So that's the live drum. Now you can go into the drum submenu, and you have the ability to again change the volume from here. See that? Now this volume here is the same as this volume here. Let me show you one more time. So we have this 105, I'll change this to 99. So that 99 is the same as this 99 right here, right? And it's also the same as this 99 here. So you can change the volume from any of those three places. They all drive the same result. Now, because the audio drums are sampled sounds, you do not have the ability yet to be able to generate your own audio drums, unlike live drums, which you do have the ability to generate your own and import into the SD-90. There's discussion about this feature becoming available at some time in the future, but for now, if you're going to use an audio drum, you have to use the factory sounds that come with it. And again, you can incorporate those audio drums into any existing style. You can mix and match them as you like, or you can create your own style and incorporate one of those factory sounds from scratch. I will also tell you that the drum mixer, when you're playing an audio drum, has no effect because you don't have control over the samples from this particular menu. This menu here is for Midi drums, which we'll cover in another video. So let me turn these back on again, and let me turn up the volume on the drums a little bit, and I'll let me give you a little sample here of how it changes. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lower two so that we can more distinctly hear the audio drums. So I'm just playing a few chords on the Novation. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and change that live drum to something else. So we'll go into here, and let's go ahead and pick a dance. I don't like that. Let's see. Switch it to a Latin ballad. Okay. Okay, now let's pick something else. Let's go ahead and down here and try Pop 2. Isn't that really a cool feature? How about we try Shuffle? Yeah, it's better. So that's the idea. That's how audio drums work. Again, they conform to the tempo of the style that you're playing. You can mix and match. You can add any of the existing onboard audio drum presets to any of the styles that you either create on your own or that you modify or that come with the factory. So very, very nice feature.